Welcome back to The Last of Us. I'm very excited for this. Oh, I forgot. Every time Joel lies to Ellie, or to anyone, I'm going to take a drink. Play a little drinking game in this one. I'm probably going to be dead soon, but I figured it might be fun. What are we doing back here in Salt Lake? Oh, we're getting you already?
Why would he do this?
And we're learning that she's a Firefly already.
All right, let's talk about how.
But we didn't save anyone. Did we?
I must say, I feel like these characters are very on point.
I'll help you kill him.
Well, that's all she needed to hear. It's kind of interesting that they have the Firefly pendants like they did in the game, but I never once saw a Firefly pendant in the first season.
Slowly.
Oh, shit.
We kill him slowly.
Yeah, that's Abby all right. That's Abby all right. I'm really surprised that that's how they started the episode, though. Like, just immediately going into, like, what Abby and her crew are planning. Because that is definitely not how the game goes. Oh, it's good to be back. What the fuck is going on? Okay, Ellie. I'm impressed.
Well, I can obviously take a punch, so who cares? Fucking hard, by the way.
I pulled it.
You pulled it?
Yeah, he pulled it.
You pulled it.
I told him to. And I don't want to have to explain that to Joel.
Don't do that again.
You can feel that tension already. Okay, so Ellie's been doing some self-defense training. I like that. I feel like that makes sense for Ellie to do. And will probably explain how she's as capable as she is in this season. And they did such a good job on Jackson. Like, it looks, again, like it's pulled straight out of the game. It's really well done. Well, that's not good.
Oh. Well, that's fun.
Oh, he looks so cute with glasses on.
Hey, kiddo.
What you doing?
I find that weirdly endearing that he calls Dina a kiddo.
You're gonna check if the wires are live, so how do you do that?
I lick them. Why is she angry at you?
Oh, jumping straight to it. Also very Dina-like.
She said she was angry? Well, I figure it's normal. Her being 19 and me being her... what I am.
That is definitely a lie that I'm gonna have to drink to, Joel.
Be overprotective and she's... Don't tell anyone I'm in therapy.
There's nothing to be ashamed of, Joel.
Okay. There's a cluster.
Ah, nice. I really enjoyed playing this part of the game.
This one. Taking you off patrols for a bit. Putting you on gate watch.
Gate watch? What?
Why is that?
He's concerned about you.
Unfucking real.
You and my brother, same goddamn fucking person.
Well, if we're the same person, you know you're not winning this.
I mean, she makes a good point.
Put me on the patrol.
I'm really digging the feel of this episode. Again, this feels like a very different tone than the first season.
See, we got this, dial. Called the constructometer.
Joel.
The more you turn it, the faster we go.
We're running out of space to put these people.
Yeah.
We're supposed to leave them out there?
If our lifeboat is swamped, yeah, we leave them out there.
Oh, Joel. I mean, it's pragmatic. I'll give you that.
Okay, we're looking at maps.
Oh, that's their
This is
son.
where we live.
What too?
Well, your wife wants me to build faster.
Didn't you tell her about the big dial?
Yeah, he told me. Come here, baby.
He told me about the dial.
You were a refugee, too.
She makes a good point. They let you in.
What's the occasion?
It's my birthday.
I mean, if they're having a drink, I'm having a drink. Paying her in weed.
Shaken
Respect.
stems. What am I, in high school?
It's winter, Gail.
It's my first birthday without my husband in 41 years.
Oh. Wait, is Eugene her husband?
I stopped putting pressure on her. Don't even make her sit down with me for dinner anymore. And what do I get for it? Nothing. That one treats me like a human being. She talks.
Joel, you know what you did to her.
gives me a smile, looks up to me. Like what?
Like not pretending you have the most boring problem in the world. Because you're lying to me, and it's exhausting. Yes, you are, Joel. Yes, you are.
You are.
And you want me to validate that? No. In fact, fuck no.
I love her. She's great.
I'll just come back another day.
Should I say it out loud? You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud.
True.
You shot and killed my husband.
Oh, whoa.
You killed Eugene.
What?
And I resent you for it. I hate you for it.
Excuse me.
I know you had no choice. I know that.
I'm gonna need some context here, because that is not how Eugene died in the
There it is.
game.
I've said it. Say the thing you're afraid to say.
I mean, I feel like if he says it, he's gonna have to kill you too. Like, now I'm thinking that's...
No matter what it is, no matter how bad.
I mean, again, now I'm thinking that Eugene found out what Joel did, and that's why he
Did
killed
you
him.
do something to her? Did you hurt her?
Well,
Then
you
what?
emotionally did.
What did you do?
I saved her.
I mean, that's technically not a lie. So far, that was my favorite scene of the episode. That was actually really good. That was super intense for a seemingly mundane scene.
Hi.
Hello.
Gonna pick you up. Take as much time as you need. 2 minutes.
She even keeps the knife on the desk the same way. Shimmer.
Okay, we're 5 minutes behind because of one or two of you, so I'll make it short. You're doing the Alpine run. Your patrol leader is Kat, so you will follow her orders.
Oh, Cat.
You're back. Today's all clear.
Character we never actually got to see in the game.
Green, bad.
The others look up to you too. For some fucking reason.
So far, none of this episode has been like one for one out of the game. It's all been like reworked stuff, but they've reworked it really well so far.
Taking anyone?
No.
Why not? Cat's available. You used to with her.
I will say, so far, I am loving Dina. Like, she is really great.
Well, recon, Cat. Let's fucking recon.
Wait, guys.
Doesn't look like they're listening to you, Cat. Sorry. Oh shit, it's a bear. In the game, it was a moose. Kind of like that change.
What do you call grizzly's ribs? Barbecue.
Oh god, that's terrible.
Yeah, what if there's a family in there? What if there's a toddler?
Fine. If you hear anything, you come right back.
Okay.
I mean, shouldn't you go with them? It's definitely more than one.
If you'd rather let the men handle it.
I see what you're doing, Ellie. And it's working. It's crazy how much more comfortable they are around the infected this time around. Because again, in Season 1, any sign of the infected was like a get the fuck out of Dodge kind of situation. They're so stupid. I love them. Oh, please, is the dog there? Yes, the dog is there. Great callback to the game. A bit risky there, Ellie. But well done.
You gotta check out the employees.
Also, right out of the game. Well done.
Are you alone?
It would appear so, but I know better than that.
Ellie? Stay put.
Yeah.
You know she's not gonna stay put. Oh, okay, that was super creepy. Looks like we finally got ourselves some stalkers. Not a fan. The stalkers were definitely the scariest of all of the infected.
Run at me, fucker! Run at me!
There's something so terrifying about that. Like it not charging at you, but instead just staring at you. Actually found a place to hide too. What's it look like? Oh, no thanks. Ooh, it's coming out of its nose. Oh, that's disgusting. Alright, go time, let's go. Ellie, did you just get bitten for a third time? Ellie!
You okay?
Yep, no bites. Everything's good.
So you're saying it was what?
Jesus, that was
Smart.
intense.
And you're telling me what, if it were you and Joel, you wouldn't have gone in?
Well, that ain't the same.
Why?
Because it's different.
How?
Yeah, that's a good point. How's that different?
Maybe the smart one was a one-off.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if I were them, I would definitely take an infected being intelligent and smart pretty seriously. I'd be a little concerned about that. Oh. I mean, I guess that's a pretty smart way to deal with that. You handle pain a lot better than I do. The barbecue. Don't write that down.
Just come to see if you were going to that thing tonight. Be good to show your face.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Strings are shot.
Oh.
I'll put some new ones on for you.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
We'll get it back tomorrow.
The only way Joel knows how to, like, communicate is giving gifts or doing something. He's not good with his words. Oh, they're playing the same song. Ah, that looks so good. That's right out of the game. Probably the first thing in this episode where I'm like, straight out of the game, dude. Hey, it's Gustavo!
So drunk. Hi. Smoked a lot.
It's different, thank you.
I think they should be terrified of you.
Yes! Oh, it's so cute. I love it.
It's a family event.
Oh, fuck off.
Sorry.
Yikes.
What did you just say?
Get the hell out of here.
Fucking right, Joel.
I don't need your fucking help.
Oh, breaks my heart. Again, that scene was very, very accurate to the game. That's, I would say, the only scene in this episode that was as close to a one-for-one as you can get. No way are we going to get this scene this early. No way. I guess we won't. I feel like that makes it hurt even more, actually. Oh, shit, the fungus is growing through that. I guess they're keeping up with the whole mycelium network connects them all thing. We never really got to see them actually use that very much in the first season, so I'm kind of happy that they're continuing that on here. Oh shit, is this who I think it is? Yes, it is. Oh dear. Ooh, great way to end that first episode. That was great. I really, really like that. All right, we are back to The Last of Us. I feel just like the first season, we have enough new stuff in here that was never seen in the game compared to stuff that is like one for one from the game or kind of reorganized from the game for it to feel like a genuinely really good adaptation. Let's begin with what's new here. The opening sequence with Abby and her friends is essentially new, but it's implied that something like this conversation did happen in the game. And I'm curious to see how the story as a whole plays out, knowing what her motivation is, like, right from the get-go, without giving away a kind of key detail of that motivation. I also feel like the characterizations for each one of them, Abby, I don't know if it's a spoiler to say the names of the other people. I don't think it is. But, the characterizations for Abby, Owen, Mel, Nora, and Manny, I feel like they're all very spot on from what I saw in the game. The only one that didn't seem completely spot on was maybe Manny, but I feel like he spoke the least during that scene, so that kind of makes sense. But Abby in particular, she doesn't have the physicality of Abby in the game. Again, for those who don't know, Abby in the game is like a really muscular, buff lady. Like, she is jacked. At this point in the story, she's not, so it's not inaccurate to see her this way at that point in the story, but I somehow doubt that she's going to be, like, ripped the way she was in the game, so I'm pretty sure they're just forgoing that element in this story, which is fine. But she acts just like Abby, like that same raw anger and, like, virtue, I feel like is very appropriate for the character. The next scene with Ellie, doing self-defense training with Jesse and this other unnamed guy is also added new material, but I like it a lot. I feel like it makes sense for a character like Ellie to want to learn how to become more of a badass and be very upset about them pulling their punches, not only because it demeans her slightly, but also because Joel is the one who requested it. Or not even requested it, but Jesse didn't want to have to explain it to Joel, so because of Joel, they were pulling their punches. Them finding the storm drain or the sewage line or whatever the fuck it is, like filled with roots, and then we later find out is filled with, mycelium tendrils. That's also new material that at first I thought was kind of just a random little beat that didn't really mean much until the very end of the episode. I like that reveal. That was very well done. Joel and Dina having not a father-daughter relationship, but, getting close to something like that is also new. That was not a part of the game, and I actually really like it. It's both kind of cute and kind of sad that, she's being so sweet to him and caring when the person he really wants that from is Ellie, and Ellie's the last person to give it to him right now. Also, the scene with Joel, Maria, and Tommy and their son is all added material. Another great scene as well. I like the conversation between Joel and Maria about logistically how can we maintain bringing in this many new people. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be focusing on our own. And she counters with, well, you were a refugee too, Joel, so shouldn't be the first one saying something like that. And I thought that was a rather good conversation. And interesting that Joel is seemingly like the head of construction for all these things because he was a contractor in his previous life. I think it makes sense. It makes so much sense, actually. I'm kind of questioning why that wasn't the case in the game. It's kind of weird that he wasn't the person working on all this construction. Or at least it was never mentioned that that was the case. Then you have the whole scene with Gail, the therapist, which by the time the episode is said and done, that is definitely my favorite scene in the episode. It was the one that took me by surprise the most. He never went and sought out a therapist in the game, even though he desperately needed it. And I like how brazen she is with him, and I get the impression that even before this big reveal that she drops on him happened, she was always kind of like that. I really enjoy how she played the character, saying, like, enough with the bullshit, dude. Like, for one, I know you killed my husband, which is crazy, might I add. That is a major deviation from the game if that is the case. But I also just like how bold that is of her to be like, yeah, I know you murdered him, and I hate you for it. But now it's out there and we can heal from it. Like, lady, you're lucky he doesn't kill you too, if that's actually true. That being said, he does not reveal what actually happened with Ellie and the Fireflies, which I'm thinking is what happened with Eugene. I feel like Eugene definitely found out somehow that Joel killed all the Fireflies and stopped a cure from being made by saving Ellie, and he had to kill him in order to keep that information silent. Like, I am calling it now that is more than likely what happened. And she gets to live by not knowing that that's the case, because he does not reveal that to her. He only says, I saved her, which technically is not a lie, but technically a lie by omission. So I need to take a drink again. Cheers. The scene of Dina coming to grab Ellie for patrol is kind of a reworked scene. In the game, it was Jesse that came to grab her, but I actually like this better. You get a little bit more of that will they, won't they kind of situation going on between the two, and a little bit more information on Ellie's mental state when it comes to Joel as well. Them going out on patrol is, again, similar to the game, but at the same time, they weren't with like a squad, and Kat was not a part of that. Again, it was kind of nice to see her, and considering she's such a wet blanket compared to Dina and Ellie, it makes sense as to why Ellie's like, yeah, I don't really like her anymore. Even though she was being pragmatic and smart in that situation, like to go running into this supermarket, which is filled with definitely more than one infected clickers at that, was super dangerous and not smart of Ellie and Dina to do. Again, I was shocked that Kat and the rest of them let them do that, at least do it alone. I'd be like, well, I mean, if you're going in, I'm going to go in with you so you have some backup. The supermarket scene is also similar, but reworked in some interesting ways. Same as the game, they do take on some clickers and manage to handle that situation fairly well. But when they go into the main section of the supermarket, things go a bit awry. Here, I like that it's changed to just being one stalker, because that's something I feel like the games very barely touch on, the fact of like how astounding it is that there are stalkers in the first place that have this higher level of intelligence, and just how terrifying that is, that they literally stalk you and creep around and take cover and don't charge at you at the first chance they can like any other infected would. They treat it more like a deviant form of infected here, which I think is a little more appropriate than it's handled in the game, actually. And then Ellie gets bit for a third time, which is insane. I'm like, girl, you would have been dead 3 times over if you weren't immune. Jesus Christ. And I did love how tense that scene was. I suppose you could say it's a bit predictable, and eventually it's going to jump out at her and they're going to have like a struggle. But the particular bit I loved the most was when Ellie sees it creeping around the corner, but it doesn't run at her. It's just like moaning and making these creepy noises before it finally just dips out of the way and she has to go chase after it. Like, that was very, very creepy. I loved that. That was phenomenally done. The council scene afterwards, where they're questioning Ellie and Dina about this new type of infected, was also brand new. You never saw any kind of council in the game. I believe it's just Maria is the leader of that community in the game, and there is no council. So I like this addition as well. You get to see some sort of like diplomatic conversations being had amongst the various leaders of the community. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't really like how they shrugged off the new type of infected, though. Again, if that was brought to my attention, I'd be like, this is a serious problem. Like, if we're to believe this is true, this is something we should definitely be really concerned about. Now let's get into what was the same. The scene with Ellie and Tommy sniping infected from a distance is definitely pulled directly from the game. A different part of the game and a different time, so it's reworked here. It's not meant to happen during this particular moment, but it's very reminiscent of a scene very similar where you snipe infected from a distance, you're borrowing his rifle, and the two are bonding and discussing how Joel is worried about her and that there's definitely an issue that's being unspoken and everything. So I enjoyed how they pulled that, directly from the game. And then you have the big dance, get together, which is very, very similar to the game. By far, out of all the scenes in this episode, was the most one-for-one out of the game. A lot of dialogue pulled directly from it, from almost all the characters. The kiss between Dina and Ellie, the dialogue leading up to the kiss, and then the aftermath with Seth, being a bigoted little shit about it, and Joel pushing him and everything. Like, that is all directly one for one. But the scene following that is not one for one. It looked like it was about to be, where Joel and Ellie see each other, and Joel is playing his guitar on his patio, but she just walks off. I won't say what happens during that scene, just in case something similar happens later on, or I don't know, if they reveal that after she walked off, she came back and that scene did in fact happen. But I found it interesting that they almost one for one that perfectly and then chose not to. It was an interesting choice. All in all, like, I really enjoyed this episode. It feels like it's following suit with the first season, where even with the changes they make, they seem to just know exactly what they're doing with the story and where they're headed with it. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't want a one-for-one replication of the game, because I've played the game. The graphics in the game are so incredibly good that it could just stand alone as its own near live-action story. So for the show, I want them to take some risks and make some changes and keep me interested, make it different than what I've already seen. And it seems like they're doing just that, while still keeping it pretty in line with what the game had in mind in terms of its story. Overall, I'm going to give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. Very solid. Pacing-wise, perhaps a bit slow, but it is the first episode. There's a lot of stuff they're trying to set up here. A lot of new characters they're introducing and such, and I feel like they introduced them very well. Abby and their crew so far have not been introduced in the best way, just because they haven't really had too much to work with. But Dina in particular, I'm like, I love her already. I think I love her more than I liked her in the game, which is saying something, because I love Dina. She's just such a smart-ass, smarmy, like, fun kind of character. I really, really liked her here. And considering they have not gotten to the big event of this season that I thought was going to be in episode 1, I'm very curious to see how everyone handles the next episode, because I think we're all in for some interesting stuff. That's all I will say. But I certainly can't wait. I will see you all in the next one, and that's about it.